Terence Bud Crawford changes his mind and says he ain't going to Errol Spence versus Yordenis Ugas. Find out in this video why Terence Bud Crawford decides he will not be attending Errol Spence versus Yordenis Ugas in this video. But before we get into the video, make sure that you hit my like button and sub to the channel if you haven't already subbed to the channel. What's happening with it, y'all? Yeah, so it looks like Terence Bud Crawford has changed his mind. He will not be attending Errol Spence versus Ugas. At first, his man Bernie, he said that their whole team was pulling up to the fight. He said that they was pulling up deep in bus loads, right? The whole team. Now, I guess he's changed his mind and he said that they will not be pulling up to the fight now. You know what I'm saying? The fight is going to happen this weekend at AT&T Stadium this Saturday. And this is why they say they not going to be going to the fight. They said that, you know, hey, he decided that he just going to sit back and he going to watch the fight at home. Now, is he going to buy it on pay-per-view? I don't know. We know that Bomac in the past said that he wasn't supporting Errol Spence's fights, that he was streaming the fight. You feel me? So is he going to buy the fight? That's a whole different story in itself. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you that Terence Crawford is not going to buy the fight. But they said that they rather watch the fight at home. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no need to go to the fight. It ain't no need to pull up to Dallas to go to the fight. And my whole thing is, wait, hold on. All of the BPC, the Bud Protection Committee, you know what I'm saying? Y'all was talking all that loud stuff, talking about, oh, Errol Spence, he didn't get in the ring. You see, Errol Spence went to the last fight that Terence Crawford had when he knew Terence Crawford was finna be a free agent. And y'all had a problem because Errol Spence didn't get in the ring. Actually, Bomac told them not to let Errol Spence in the ring. He said it out of his own mouth. He said, yeah, I told him don't let him get in the ring. Don't let that nigga get in the ring, right? And y'all had a problem because Errol Spence got up and left early when they wouldn't even gonna let him in the ring in the first place. But Terence Crawford is not even attending Errol Spence versus Ugas. Everything is gonna be said and done after this fight. 3 belts is on the line. The only other belt is a title unification. Matter of fact, let me correct myself. Undisputed fight with Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford if Errol Spence gets past Ugas. Ain't nothing else left. Now that this fight is inching closer and closer, it seems like that Terence Bud Crawford is getting more difficult and more difficult, right? We already heard the news that the PBC is trying to get him to basically ink the contract, right? Ink the contract, the 2-fight deal with the PBC. They want him to fight Keith Thurman, but he don't want to fight Keith Thurman. He said, nope, all he wants is an Errol Spence and he wants to move up in weight and he want to go after Jermell Charlo. But now you being difficult. You could even ask for a 2-fight deal with Errol Spence. You know, a fight and a rematch clause between y'all. But you don't even want to do that. And it seems like now that the fight is right here in front of your face, now that Mr. Man Down, that nigga with the shag, is all the way back, what is the problem? You don't want to show up to the fight? And so for those who don't know, PBC was trying to get him to ink the deal ahead of time. They was trying to get him to ink the deal before Errol Spence versus Ugas, so Terence Crawford could attend Errol Spence versus Ugas and they could have Terence Crawford on the podium with Keith Thurman, right? You know how Keith Thurman, he commentates all the fight, so they wanted to have Keith Thurman and Terence Crawford right next to each other, interviewing them about Errol Spence or Yordenis Ugas and a potential fight between themselves. But Terence Crawford, he giving pushback. He don't want to do none of that. And see, this is the same thing that Bob Arum was telling y'all about Crawford. He's a great fighter in the ring, but he don't want to do nothing that it takes to build up these fights, right? To make his name bigger. Now, come on, common sense to tell you, Terence Crawford fights Keith Thurman before Errol Spence. If he stops Keith Thurman in impressive fashion, his name only grows bigger, right? He takes all of Keith Thurman's fans And the fight between himself and Errol Spence is even way bigger than it already is. But he don't want to do none of that. And a lot of people saying, hey, he might not be confident that he could beat Keith Thurman. Now, I'm not going to say that. I think that he stops Keith Thurman. But it don't matter what I think because he may think different. We know that he's always held Keith Thurman in high regard. In the past, he said that Keith Thurman was the most dangerous, best welterweight in the division besides himself. So he could still look at Keith Thurman as that same old Keith Thurman. We don't know. And he could be looking at it like, nah, I'm not getting in the ring with Keith Thurman because that's a high risk fight and I could lose my chance to fight Errol Spence. I mean, it could be that way, but if you the number one pound for pound fighter in the world, the best fighter in the whole world, like you say, you shouldn't have a problem with getting a big bag and beating Keith Thurman while doing it, and then going right into an Errol Spence fight. I mean, it just don't make no sense to me. But I want to see if the BPC, the Blood Protection Committee, is going to keep the same energy now that Terence Crawford decides that he's not going to show up to the fight. Oh, and that ain't it, y'all. Terence Crawford's not going to show up, but a whole lot of people from Omaha and the rest of his team members are going to be showing up to the fight. Yeah, that's what they said. A whole lot of his team members and a whole lot of people from Omaha going to be showing up to the fight, but Terence Crawford's not going to be showing up to the fight. Now, some people might say it was a smart decision that he made not to show up to the fight, right? Looking at the circumstances that happened the last time he showed up to the fight, he almost had to fight everybody in Dallas Stadium because he got into it with some cats, you know what I'm saying, in the stadium. They approached Terence Crawford about, you know, things that he had been saying and things that his team members had been saying, and shit almost got real ugly. So maybe he decided, you know what, I'ma stay safe, I'ma stay out of harm's way. And don't take this like I'm saying that Terence Crawford is bitch made or he's scared. Nah, it ain't none of that. But you're not in your city and you got thousands and thousands and thousands of fans that don't really fuck with you and they don't fuck with nobody in your camp. You might have to think twice before you show up to that fight. You know what I'm saying? A shit can get real ugly because it's been a whole lot of things personal said towards Errol Spence. You know, they've called that man a drunk. They've called that man a bitch. They didn't say that he was scared. They didn't say he's a fraud. All type of things. Anything you can name, members from Terence Crawford's camp have said it. Now, Terence Crawford, he said things himself, but he hasn't got personal and disrespectful to that extent with Errol Spence. But everything that comes out of Terence Crawford's camp, people gonna look at it like it's Terence Crawford, right? And he's never came out and said, that's not me. I told them not to say certain things and not get personal, right? He ride with pretty much everything that's said. So they're looking at Terence Crawford like he said it. You know what I'm saying? That's just how shit go. So yeah, now Terence Crawford has decided, nah, he ain't going to the fight. But like they said, it's gonna be a lot of his team members at the fight and everything. And see, we was looking forward to seeing Terence Crawford get in the ring and seeing him and Errol Spence face off, go face to face. Now we not gonna get none of that. And see, now Terence Crawford can't complain about this purse split. He not even willing to do the necessary steps that he has to do to promote this fight and make this fight even bigger than what it already is. Now, who was wrong? Him or Bob Arum? Bob Arum told y'all that he don't want to do nothing that it takes to promote these fights. He don't want to do nothing but get in the ring and fight, and that's it. You feel me? So now y'all seeing what it is. And now he's giving PBC kickback. He don't want to sign a 2-fight deal with them. He think that he just supposed to get everything his way. Keith Thurman is a hell of a fight, and it's a fight that you can go in there and win. Like I said, I picked Terence Crawford to stop Keith Thurman. What is the problem? But so yeah, now y'all know Terence Crawford, he ain't showing up to the fight. He said it ain't no need for him to show up to the fight. Let me know what y'all think about this. Smash on my like button, drop a comment in the comment section, and y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.